right. So last question. Hey, from the middle. I was invited to a guy's weekend. It's for a friend's 40th birthday, which is long done and over with. Closer to his actual birth date, his wife invited my wife and I and two other couples to dinner and an activity, and I already got him a small gift that was given to him at that event. Anyway, back to the guys' weekend. He said, my wife is giving me the gift of a guys' weekend. We'll be staying in an Airbnb, doing distillery tours on the Saturday and golfing on Sunday. Do you guys want to come? The question: what am I obligated to financially contribute to? What's the etiquette? He said his wife is giving him this gift, but do I pay for gas if we carpool, kick in for my share of the Airbnb, buy a meal or two of his, cover a round of golf?
That is interesting. I've had a scenario one time where I went to a relatively expensive concert on a friend's wife's dime who bought it so that he didn't have to go alone. And I, on a very smaller scale, had the same thought. Like, I feel like I can pay for something. Like, I feel like I need to pay for something here. And I felt that compulsion with a concert ticket, much less a trip.
Whew. That's tough. I feel like with the disclaimer up front, my wife is treating me to this, all of this stuff. I feel like what's implied is we're going to go, but we don't want to force everyone to pay for a bunch of stuff. So basically, I'm paying as the host, but also, whatever. But I don't think I could go without like some cash, cards. I would think at least at bare minimum, if you're doing multiple days worth of stuff, maybe buy a drink or two over the course of the weekend, as a celebratory. I just feel like even though the trip seems all inclusive, I think you're likely on the hook for a little more than that. I think it's implied that you probably should offer.
Well, I wouldn't say it's implied. I would say that most friends who would do something as generous as this would probably actually have very little expectation that anything's going to get reciprocated. I don't think they're going to hold a grudge if nothing got reciprocated. So off the bat, unless you know the person and you know otherwise, I don't think that that's a real concern. However, there is a big part of me that says if you can't afford it, and let's say, for example, it wouldn't have been an issue for you to pay for your entire portion of the trip, then I feel like that puts you in a position, if you're already a generous person, that puts you in a position where you could be possibly more generous than you would normally be. Because if you're already generous, there's probably a lot of things that you would have paid for anyway. And now you feel weird about possibly paying for those things because you have this other thing going on over your head. Like, am I doing it because I feel like I have to? When the reality is you probably would have anyway, you idiot. So I would say try to push the guilt away, because I don't think that that's actually a problem. And instead allow yourself to be as generous as you normally would be. Plus, give step it up a little bit, because you've been put in a position where you can.
Yeah, I'm reading the subtext of this, and it sounds like that was because this part of the email was in quotes where it says, "My wife is giving me the gift of this weekend. Here's all the stuff we're doing. Do you guys want to come?" So that suggests that there's a group of people receiving this message, some of which will say, "Yep, that sounds great, I'm in," and some of which will say no, which changes the percentages of the Airbnb and the stuff. And I'm doing the math going, Airbnb, distillery tour, a round of golf. That's quite the weekend. I think you gotta kick in. You gotta kick in at least, like Dylan said, a drink, a meal, hey man, I'll cover your round of golf, whatever.
I mean,
Even
the big variable is we don't know the person,
yeah.
right? So like some people in our lives are just the people that'll pay for everything and it doesn't bother them. And financially, you might know they're in that position. And then I've had people that I've known that'll be like, that'll say like, oh yeah, it's all taken care of. And then they're so not responsible enough to pay for it or have the money or I don't know. We've got to know the people too. If
you're legit invited and you can't afford anything, the people who invited you know that. And so just have fun, man. Enjoy yourself.
I'm imagining the conversation afterwards if this person doesn't contribute at all. And they're like, can you believe he just sat there and enjoyed all that stuff and didn't even offer?
Yeah. I mean, you could also maybe, I know the point is, a gift was mentioned. Do I have to part of the subcontext is here, do I have to take another gift? You could take a gift or multiple gifts that everyone could enjoy too. So like if people are the sit around and have cigars and a drink kind of people, you could take that as an experience that everyone could enjoy. That way you're contributing, but it's something that you could take like some games and cards, to like, hey, I'm bringing all of this stuff that we can do.
Yeah.
You could contribute that way. That way it's something you'd enjoy anyways, but also everyone can benefit from too.
Good idea.
And maybe that's not an outright gift, but like you're not handing them a bag with tissue paper and a card, but like
you added to the experience.
Right. Yeah. So I think you could do that too. And that would be something you get up there, you find there's a cool gift shop, tchotchke, something, that everyone can take home and, unique snacks or drinks of wherever you're going to visit that you can buy everybody to try out. That would be another way to think about the gift too.